Are you ready for some high tea?
Oh, why, yes. Pinky's up, darling.
Alrighty, guys. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to a very special episode of High Tea. I'm here with my host, Lil Rob.
All right, hi, hello. How do you do?
Yes. So, hey, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Passenger Seat Parlay. I'm here with my very, very special guest, Lil Rob.
Yes, and I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, and today we're serving high afternoon tea.
Yes, free your mind, and the rest shall follow.
Okay. Oh my gosh, so many things. So I know I talked shit, guys, in the beginning of the podcast season, saying that I would never talk about these stupid submission things. Our men should submit to women, but I lied. I'm talking about it today with my friend. And we're gonna just, we're gonna lift up the low vibrational topic with some knowledge and history and all
Yes.
types of tea.
And understand what are the roots of these things.
Yeah, we're helping y'all unpack this trauma. We're free therapy.
Yes, but I mean, if you want to send the check, let me know.
Okay.
DM me.
Right. Alrighty, guys. So submission. What does submission mean to you?
So submission, I grew up a church kid, so
Yeah.
it's about the equally yoked situation. Not just
Interesting.
one being beneath the other. It's you equally submitting to each other and being in that relationship and realizing I'm committed to you, you're committed to me, and I'm never going to make you look foolish outside.
Yes.
That's the submission that I like.
Yes. I always say submission to me is it's what you just said, respect.
Yeah.
Like I respect you as a person, as an individual, as a human being. I respect your opinions, your future, your time, your value, your body, everything. That's what submission is to me.
Yes, and I think that's what it should be. However, on Beyonce's internet, these people be in the comments talking about, a woman gotta submit to a man. And I'm like, for what? Because you can't even submit a payment to pay your bills.
Oh my God.
Like, what am I submitting to?
It's
Women
like-
ask. Like,
It's that, I think, and it's like they're asking for respect. Like you want,
yeah.
even with that stupid Andrew Schultz comment that was going viral a few weeks ago.
Remind me, what was the comment?
The two podcasters, damn, I forgot their names. I'll insert commercial fourth wall thing here. Okay, I'm gonna
The people them.
The people them. They were on Andrew Schultz's podcast and they were making a joke about Black women, saying who do you like dating better, Black women or white women? And then the guys, they got nervous and they're what, do you like your girlfriend to yell at you? Just kind of like painting Black women as being aggressive.
Which is so annoying.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay. And then they're like, oh, yeah, because they didn't outrightly say like no or divert the question. They were like, oh, you didn't stand up for Black women. Like, Black women have been mad at, and everyone issued out their apologies. And Andrew Schultz doubled down on the bullshit.
Because if someone asked you that, you should have a clear answer.
Right.
Do you fool with Black women or not? It's a yes or a no.
Yeah.
And if it's a no, then stand on that.
Exactly. And I feel like these Black men and, the Manosphere and the Kevin Samuel disciples, they're always saying how women should submit because really they want respect, right? And
Yeah.
it's like, we need to unpack the history.
And I understand wanting respect, and the history behind it is because a lot of times when we walk outside, we might have not received that respect. So thus when we come to the home, where like, at least in this sphere, I can rule and dominate.
Yeah.
But times are changing, and we have to realize that. Yes, it is still hard for us out there, but it is not the same as what our grandfathers might have lived through.
Yeah.
And we need to understand that women bring something to the table.
Yeah.
And why must they submit to you when they're also working all day
Yeah.
and doing the same things you do? Like the whole debates of, oh, I want a hot dinner done when I get home.
Yeah.
Brother, you get home first.
Right.
Her commute might be longer. Start cooking something. The Lord gave you two hands. Use them.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely feel like, and especially that's a whole nother topic, the 50-50 thing.
Yeah.
Like I feel a lot of women nowadays are like, okay, I'm not going to submit to you because they feel, honestly, it boils down to respect. I don't respect or trust your judgment to lead me to a direction where I won't get hurt. I think that's something that needs to be addressed. Like if I, for instance, in my example, I realized that I was unable to submit to my boyfriend in certain acts to my ex-boyfriend to certain aspects because I just didn't trust his knowledge about things. Like I didn't
Yeah.
trust you to handle our finances. Like I would want to take that over. I don't trust you to make sure the household things are being done. I would take that over.
And
So when
that's
I was doing way
respectable.
too much, I was just like, I started transitioning into some quote unquote alpha female where I'm like, okay, I'm treating him like he's like my brother, like my annoying little brother
Yeah.
versus my man, my partner. So I'm just like, okay, in that instance, it's like, okay, obviously he didn't check certain boxes to where I would show him respect in this area. Like I honored his leadership.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, women, we are tired. We do so much as a Black woman at that. We have to do so much in every aspect. We can't be too loud, can't be too aggressive because then we're seen a certain way.
But then if you're too quiet, then you have an attitude and you're
Yeah.
labeled things. And it's
Yeah.
like, you could never win.
Yeah. Or if I'm usually extroverted, but I'm having an introverted day, something's wrong. What's going on?
Yeah.
So it's always a challenge. And just to come home and be challenged too. And it's just like, come on, guy. Like, it's really unpack. What's going on? Why do you feel like you're not respected? And I always say, evaluate their relationship with their mom and the women in their lives.
Yo, that's the real thing.
Okay. That's the real tea.
Because some of these men, their mothers glorified them and
Mhm.
deified them.
Or we're very cruel
Like,
and not nurturing.
yeah, so it's like either side can lead to such different results. Because the ones who are deified, they think you need to worship the ground they walked on.
Right.
And then the ones who never received that love, they don't know how to navigate certain spaces with you in a relationship.
Yeah. The
And-
emotional intelligence.
Yeah, the emotional
there.
intelligence is completely gone.
Mm.
But it's also not your job to teach a grown person to do that.
And as an educator, do you feel like there is a significant difference? I think I asked you this before, between having a male and a female energy presence in the home when you have
Oh.
children?
Definitely. And I see it with kids,
Yeah.
how they are different. I notice a lot of our boys who have very nurturing mothers
Mm-hmm.
and who grow up in a female dominant space
Yeah.
are so kind to the female students in there.
Yeah.
You know, they're the ones who are like, hey, do you need something? They're opening a door, they're pulling out a chair. And I
Yeah.
love to see that.
Yeah.
And then I see girls sometimes who might not have male figures in the house and see how much they beg for that attention in the school building.
Ah, how
Wheth-
so?
A lot of times with their male counterparts in class. Like recently I had to tell a young lady to stop begging for attention from one of her male classmates because he's not giving her the time of day. And every day she's doing kind things. And it's like, you don't have to work for that. If people like you, they will like you. And you see that how they attach to the educators as well, the boys and the girls. There's certain boys who will really attach to their male teachers. Why? Because they want a father figure.
Oh, yeah.
Or sometimes they'll attach to the female teachers. Why? Because they need that nurturing energy.
Yeah.
And for our girls, you know, if they're attaching to these male teachers, like they just see them in a great light. They also want their father figure. And we see that play out all the time. So home lives really affect kids when they go to school.
Yeah.
And for two-parent households, that could go anyway sometimes. You can have really great parents.
Yeah.
But you step into a school space and you see someone who's different from your parents.
Yeah.
And you're like, I just want to learn about you.
Yeah.
And I want you to teach me a different part of life.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen that so many times.
Yeah. And what's your experience with having children in like a same-sex parent household? Do you notice any behavioral differences there in the feminine, masculine energy?
I don't see much of a behavioral difference. I just see for those children, they're so emotionally intelligent.
I believe it.
Especially the two mom household kids. Those kids.
Okay, the women raise the children. Come on.
They be teaching me. I have to sit down and be like, you know what? I need to check my emotions at the door as well. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because their
Get it
moms
together.
just teach them everything so
Yeah.
well. For the two male household children, it's also been a great thing. I've especially seen it with the young ladies who have two dads.
Yeah.
The energy that they have because they're nurtured so much by these male figures that when they walk into a space, their confidence is through the roof.
Love that.
And they're like, I don't need any of these boys to feed into me. I already have my good self-esteem. They could add on something maybe, but I come with the full package, and I like that.
So it's giving little alpha baby.
Yes.
Okay, love that. What's your feeling about alpha and beta culture?
Oh, child. I just think that this is a stupid social construct sometimes.
Very much so.
Because I'm like, people are so complex. You can't categorize them into just those two things.
Yeah, it's a level. It's a shift. You shift between in and out.
Like you were saying before, like you might be alpha in some areas. Like you the financial queen.
Right.
And then he might be more alpha in other circumstances. He's
building shit.
Oh, building stuff. See,
okay.
I'm not an alpha in that. That's not my ministry.
Right.
I'll call somebody to build something. I got you.
Because you got the money.
I'll donate to the cause.
Right.
But that's not my ministry, and that's cool. But I could still be an alpha male in other aspects. I could be there to be the sound mind and make decisions.
Yeah. So, guys, I have a theory of what the quote-unquote alpha male is. I was telling Rob a little bit offline. But if you go back to Alvin and the Chipmunks, the three brothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I like to think of them also, and there's a podcast episode going out, to split the personality, the ego. You have the id, super ego, and the ego, right?
Yes.
So Alvin is obviously seen as quote-unquote the alpha. His color is red. He's you see me up front. He's the loudest. He's the athletic. He's the jock. He's the guy doing quick schemes, always getting everybody in trouble. Then you have Simon, who's the quote-unquote beta, who's introverted. He's into his science. He's into his craft, his passion. He's very much so, he's more so Omega to me. Lone wolf, doing his own thing. He can lead when it's time for him to lead, but he'd rather be in the cut. And then you have Theodore. Theodore's the beta. He's like the sweet. He wants to help everybody out. He's such a sweetheart. He's not going to make too much waves. He's just going to be in the cut. And, and also with him, he was very gluttonous, where that's how they showed him. He would always be into sweets and gluttony, and he's very chill and lax, kind of like your cute little Snorlax. And I feel like men have a level of each color to an extent, and it changes on what they're going through personally that week or that day, or just how their childhood was. You may have somebody who's super athletic, could be a great athlete, but who's an introvert like Simon.
Yeah.
And people will see somebody who has traits like Alvin, who are flashy on the outside, and they think, oh, that's an alpha man. He looks good. He's built. But he may not even know how to balance a checkbook.
Exactly.
Or he's probably never even taken care of himself, been to a doctor and do blood work, little things like that. But he looks like an alpha. And people, I feel like, are so obsessed with what they think an alpha looks like versus learning what an alpha thinks like.
Yes.
What's an alpha mentality?
Because it's really in your mindset. And I was telling you offline too, for women, I often like to use the girl group example.
Yes.
Especially the trios.
Yes.
So, if you think of Destiny's Child, there's the Beyonce, the Kelly, and Michelle. They're all needed, though.
Yes.
And that's the thing, because they each serve a different purpose. And within people, you could have all three energies. You could have that leadership like Beyonce. You can have that calm energy like Kelly. And then, you could be a little bit different and introverted like Michelle.
Yeah.
You need all of those things. And I love the girl. You don't always have to be the Beyonce. You don't have to be the Diana Ross.
It's a lot of pressure up there front.
Sometimes you want to be one of the Supremes. You could be Mary Flo.
Okay.
It's cool.
A little doo-wop in the back.
Exactly. A doo-wop pop chick like Tamar used to say.
Okay, doo-wop pop. She wanted to be Beyonce so bad. She would cop her outfit so bad.
Oh, bless her heart. But, even in that, we see the energy of people who are like Tamar. Big energy. Alpha
Big mouth.
female. But behind it, we see she also has layers. And it's so important that when we look at people, we're not only seeing them for face value. She might be popping her gums and saying .com and all this stuff.
Child.
But behind that, she's also a highly intelligent businesswoman.
Yeah.
We see that she's going for a singing career that she was able to sustain. And she has a family. So these are layered people. So this whole alpha beta thing don't really work for me, because the complexity
of
the human
loved
mind.
her too, and she left Vince, and she's been struggling ever since. But God bless her.
I always think that. Bless her heart, Tamar Epstein Braxton.
Okay, and just to go touch on feminine and masculine energy again, I feel like a lot of people get confused between feminine, quote unquote, and masculine energy versus feminine and masculine sexuality. when it comes to
How so?
like, for instance, you have young boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they say like you have a young boy who say he doesn't want to play with the what are the things that little boys play with? Like with the monster trucks and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But he rather play with his sister's
Cooking
kitchen
set.
and he's cooking set, right?
Yeah.
They're saying like, oh, they're trying to catch like, oh no, that's gay, or he's too feminine, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, you guys are seeing it from like a subservitude, a sexual thing sometimes.
Yeah, because there's so many male chefs.
Thank you. But I'm like, when I think of feminine, we all have feminine and masculine energy. When I think of feminine energy in men, I think of how I see like men and their pets. Come on now.
Yo.
It's nurture.
A man with a dog.
That's nurture. That's a feminine
and
trait.
It's so beautiful to see.
Exactly. That's a feminine trait because you'll see like the biggest, broliest, manly man chopping wood. But as soon as their dog's paw has a little something, he's about to weep in the vet because he loves his pet. That's his feminine nature.
Mm-hmm.
That's his feminine
and my question
energy
for you then,
to nurture.
What really defines femininity and masculinity? Who really made these definitions of what it is?
Man.
Could it not just be energy?
I believe it's energy. I think it's men. And I feel we identify it because, for instance, nurturing is something you definitely see more so from the mother, right?
Yes.
So you just label, oh, feminine.
That's feminine, yeah.
Now I'm trying to think masculine. When I think of masculine, I think of being able to build things and like have the durability of strength.
Yeah.
Right? Like can lift me up. But then also women are very masculine when they give birth.
Yeah, because you need strength to carry a child and push them out of a 10-centimeter hole. Like,
yeah. And I think also like to provide and protect too. Obviously, men will provide and protect you in a fight, in a war, but sometimes some women don't have that person. They have female warriors.
Yeah,
they tap into that masculine
Queen
energy.
Nzinga, like, come on. Okay. Women can fight.
Thank you. And I know, please bless him with that history. You know, them African Zulu women, they was out there fighting too. They tapped into their masculine energy.
And that's why I was asking, like, what really defines masculine and feminine? Because I think personally, it's just a Western mindset of what they decided for us a long time ago, of what a man should be like and what a woman should be like.
I think what determines it is your chromosome. And I'm going to just keep it at that.
Yeah,
that's a different one.
Like, I get that. There's men and women. I get it. But as for, like, the definition of the energy situation, I feel like it's just a cultural context. Because,
it is.
As you mentioned, like, the Zulu warrior women. And there's certain societies within Africa, within Asia, where women are the ones who are leading.
Yeah.
It's a matriarchal society. So, like, they come over here, per se, they would be seen as masculine. So I just think it's really about the cultural context of what each culture defines as what a man should do and what a woman should do.
Versus, like, and also, like, athletes. Like, you have strong female athletes. It's like they're not coming to compete all soft and in their feelings, ready to engage. Like, they're coming here for battle. Like, they tensing up. To me, I feel like they're getting on their masculine energy and they're, getting souped up.
Interesting.
That's like how I think of it that way. Versus like, say if a man is coming to do a speech and he's talking about something that's emotional or hard topics to talk about, I feel like he would write his speech out and channel more of his nurturing feminine energy. So he's not coming in like with his whole sports, like, hey guys, today we're talking about the death of children and cancer. It's like he needs to soften up the tone. He needs to tap into his feminine energy and speak with a more softer tone and more neutral. Doesn't mean he's gay or flamboyant or anything. He's just tapping more sensual.
Yeah, because whenever we speak about men having any type of emotions, then it's automatically, that's gay. And, like, there's just so many things, especially on the internet space, of, like, all the things men can't do.
Yeah.
That list be growing. I'm like, a man can't order fajitas at a restaurant. He can't have a birthday party with candles on the cake. Like, there's such a list. And I'm like, who all is doing this and creating these definitions?
Yeah.
Because, like, I always think from that historian mindset, like, who made the narrative? Yeah. And who's making the story?
The boys' trips, they have to be all like, oh, we're fucking bitches. Like, no. Y'all could take pictures and do all the things that girls do. Turn up.
Exactly. You could go on a beach, have some mimosas too. It's cool. There's no gender attached to the drink.
Okay,
and
it's a
things
vibe.
Be good because I don't know how y'all wouldn't be doing that at 2 in the afternoon sometimes.
I don't know.
Bottomless
Endurance.
samosas.
I can't. Not with my new stomach, child. I can't do it.
Listen, because y'all be outside. And I cannot keep up with some of y'all.
Yeah.
Sending you up texts at 2 p.m. I'm like, is everything okay with y'all? But I love my homegirls because y'all.
I'm in the house. I'm not married, but I'm in the house.
Yeah, but for my homegirls who be outside, listen, that big feminine energy, I guess.
Okay.
And I love to see it.
Right. So that's just a little touch on the feminine and masculine energy too versus sexuality. Because I'm like, when they think feminine, they're like, oh, like when they give, say men, oh, he's flamboyant because his pitch or he talks too much or too high. I'm like, there's a difference. Like not everything, especially when you see it in children, it's like not everything feminine and masculine, quote unquote, that means homosexuality.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be sexualized.
Yeah. And it's like y'all are out here giving the babies labels before they even know themselves.
Because to be frankly honest, the whole sexuality thing, if you like whatever gender you like, that's your sexuality. Are you trying to do something with somebody? That's the definition of sexuality. All the rest of the stuff around it is more so I'm learning from the kids. So gender identity and all that stuff of like what it means to act like a boy, act like a girl, act like there's other spectrums now that I'm learning about. So all of these things are very new to me, but I'm always willing to learn.
Yes. And I hope someone listening to this will DM me. I need to know when the LGBT flag switched from the rainbow to the new with the triangles on the side.
Oh, I can give information on that.
Me.
Because history. So it's about including BIPOC people. So Black, Indigenous people of color. I don't prefer the term BIPOC because the people of color is quite ambiguous.
Yeah.
And people of color has always been ambiguous to me. What do we mean? Of what color? Because we're not all united sometimes. Cough Asian community. But that's what it really came from, engaging that history in it. Because when looking at the flag or looking at those movements, it was led by Black and brown people initially.
Shooting.
I wish I was more informed on the exact names of people and everything, but especially in New York, we see that it was Black and brown people starting these movements. So it honors that and it creates a more inclusive space because in some of those spaces, they're heavily white.
Very true.
In a lot of spaces, they are.
And just thank you for that because I've been wanting to have an episode to talk about it. I'm like, I'm an ally. I'm here to support. You like what you like. You like it. I love it. Period. That's just how I am.
That's it. That's your business, baby. Like, you want to do what you do, lovely. And I think that's how everyone should be in life. If you don't like something, don't do it.
Period.
As long as you're not hurting folks. That's all I care about.
That part. Now, to talk about another high tea topic, I'm not sure if you saw a few weeks ago, Cam Newton and Dr. Bryant went viral again for an interview about the high value, low value man and all that jazz. What does that mean to you? Because I'm like, this rhetoric, I don't understand no more.
Putting value on people just gives me the ick. Because it's just like value. That's giving old slave day vibes. Like, why are you putting a value over people's heads?
Talk about it.
And I just think
why are we doing it? Generational trauma.
Trauma. We're reiterating the things that were done in the past. And it's just like, what does value really mean? And I keep going back to like the definition of things because that's really important to me.
Yeah.
When you are speaking, I need to know the framework you're working with.
Yes.
And how you define these things. So how are we putting value on a person? You're determining if they're good for you. That's fine.
Okay, right.
But if they're good as a whole human being in society, who gave you that power to do that?
Yeah.
Who died and left you, boss?
Right. And I guess they're saying people who are high value of, I guess, public stature, money versus someone who's low value. But I'm like you said, is it financial based? Emotional?
Like, what is the criteria behind the value? And what makes you able to be the determinant of that?
Yeah. And you know those pop balloon freaking challenges? I'm sure you've seen them by now.
I have seen many of them. I don't know how to feel about them. I have complex emotions.
So low vibrational. It's really just a looking contest. I saw a video the other day of this guy where he went, I guess all his balloons popped, and he asked these women, okay, well, oh, do you have children? They're like, okay, yeah, I have 3 kids. Like, oh, how many baby daddies? Oh, 3 baby dads. She's like, no. And then the same thing. How many kids? 2 kids, 2 baby dads. 4 kids, 2. Blah, blah, blah. And then also, which, sectioned off to the manosphere conversation. That's these low value women are looking for these high value men, and they have all these kids and these burdens. And it's just like, they will devalue us because, and I think about the biblical times, right? Remember when they used to trade us for land and things? Virgins went at a high price. A lot of people are not getting married or coming into relationships as virgins anymore. That's not on trend. And some people are having kids prior. Some are having multiples. So you also have that generation that are also saying, I have these kids and I have a lot of baggage, quote unquote, but they want a man who's making 6 figures, who could take them out to eat. Remember that? That was in the mid 2010s into now.
Yes, that was really big.
They're going out for just a free meal. But I'm like, and people would say these type of women are low value women. Or, you know what I'm saying? Versus the girls who are all about aesthetics. All my Instagram are pictures of vacations and just pictures of me in bikinis and stuff like that. And I don't say shit. You don't see nothing on my story but memes. But I'm a high value woman.
Wondering, what makes them so high value? Because they can have stuff in their life too.
Yeah. Or a great marketing team and AI posting on their Instagram.
That's it, because you could be posting all of those things and sleeping on an air mattress at home.
Thank you, bitch. Okay.
You are on vacation every week, but who is funding the vacations?
Right.
Is your rent really paid at home?
Well, maybe via vagina, but are you still a high value woman then?
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Everyone's talking about shit they don't even know about.
Oh, but that's people's favorite thing to do, to speak from an uninformed space.
Oh, yeah.
And then get on the internet. I'm like, the same way you could write a comment, I need you to use that, Google, beloved. Thank you. I need you to.
Yes.
Look at some articles, peer-reviewed, please.
Yeah.
And just research things.
Or not say, my favorite lesson in kindergarten was if you have nothing nice to say nothing at all.
Exactly.
The way I love minding my business.
Oh, it's so amazing to just mind your business.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for people to learn things before they speak, though.
Yeah.
Because people will be wrong and strong. That's what I always say.
Wrong and strong. I love that.
Wrong and strong. And they will stand on business. But I'm like, actually, you need to sit down. Maybe have several seats.
Right.
And get on that computer or your phone and research.
Okay. And what are your thoughts about the manosphere? I'm curious.
So the manosphere, how would you define that as well?
Toxic masculinity on steroids.
Yes.
I remember I posted a comment underneath a episode that Dr. Umar Johnson and Nick Cannon were having. And he said in the segment how a lot of men go for the white, him, Dr. Umar be for the black women. A lot of black men have issues with black women due to their mothers. So I was in the comments, okay, because I'm trying to do traction. Hey, are there any other doctors that can back up this theory with more context? Because he kind of went over it. That was the question for psychologists or whoever to start texting. Then instantly, why? He is a doctor. It's because he's a black man. You don't believe him. And just craziness.
We believe you, but there's peer-reviewed things. It's just a scientific community if you think about it.
And I'm just oh, y'all can't read. This is that educational gap I'm seeing in real time. I'm you guys don't understand the question.
I know Bush said back in the day, no child left behind, but apparently a lot of them were.
No, they should have left them babies behind.
Oof.
Because sometimes you need that shame to get you to read that level up.
I know Whitney said the children was our future, but are these the children she was speaking about? I need to know.
Right. Because I'm we're going to have TikTok doctors and doctors
who cheated
God. With AI.
I call them Google Docs because they just Google everything.
I love that.
But this manosphere that you speak of, I'm just it makes no sense sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you are so focused on your homeboys and big up in them and everything is for them. And I'm maybe that is a little bit suspect. I'm just saying, if you worried
it's
about
giving a little diddler,
if you so worried about male approval and being with your boys, it might be giving something else that you need to unpack.
Yeah,
it's okay, hey girl, but if that's your vibe.
Honestly, when I saw that Kevin Samuels pass, God rest his soul, I don't wish a death on anyone.
No, not.
But I was just I don't know if maybe his karma was up. He put a lot of karma and got big because he transitioned right when he was at the top of his thing.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people spiraled it out after that. That's when I really started to tune into the manospheres making waves. You have
Yeah.
Andrew Tate, the Fit and Fresh guys,
Yes.
and just little people here and there. I'm just like, okay, certain things I'll tap in because I'm like, I don't want to be, biased because I'm a woman necessarily all the time and just not watch their content. I just want to hear them out and just see like if I can agree with certain things. Like certain episodes where they talk about like finances,
Yeah.
I agree with. It's just when they talk about women, I'm just like, it's like you treat us like a monolith and you group us all in. Because not every woman is a gold digger or is looking to see what you can give me, I'm going to give you. You know?
That's just their lack of emotional intelligence.
Yeah, like who hurt you?
Yeah, who hurt you? And like, why do you hate women so much?
Yeah.
Because if you claim that you like women,
yeah,
why are you hating on them so much? But you will big up your homeboy real quick. I need you to unpack that in therapy.
It's like I can understand if you guys want to create brotherhood and which should be done in the male community.
And there's a difference between brotherhood and upholding a patriarchy. There's a stark contrast between the two.
Yeah.
Because brotherhood is about unity and making sure we looking out for each other, checking on each other.
Yeah.
You know, being like, hey, bro, are you good? Like, you having an okay week?
Yeah.
That's brotherhood, not, yo, these women can't stand them. I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
That's not the unity we need.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like y'all be undercover. Just if you want to be in love with your homeboy, be in love with your homeboy.
That's what I'm saying.
You can still be masculine and be homosexual.
Exactly. Because all that energy you giving your homeboy, it's given that's your emotional boyfriend.
It's giving you don't like girls.
Right? Because if you're always talking down on women, I'm like, oh.
I'm like,
so you just don't like them at all. And that's fine, beloved. If you like it, I love it.
Period.
Do your thing. You could still walk around in your Yankee fitted and your Timbs with your rough voice. And you just have your homeboy on the side. That's it.
Okay. Clearly, child, that's what they say in Atlanta. Well, like I could not date in Atlanta. I'd be too paranoid.
Mm-hmm. Oh, bless their hearts down there.
First of all, can I say the lesbians of Atlanta be fine? And I'm a heterosexual woman all day. But like sometimes I'll double look like the doms out there, they will make you question your sexuality. Like,
you was out there, you were like backpack.
Like I'm like, she handsome, you know? And that's that masculine feminine energy switch, just to circle back. Because sometimes I'll see a dom who for instance, I happen to know one. I'm sure you know them too.
Yeah.
Like I will be talking to them and the energy feels like I'm talking to like one of my homeboys. And then all of a sudden I'll mention something about Beyonce and then that feminine
switches
energy instantly.
Oh my God.
Be like, yeah, girl. I'm like,
because
it's just you back in it.
That and like the way that they tap into their feminine energy sometimes. They'll speak to me, look in my eyes, and speak like R&B intro. And be like, how are you doing today?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, no one checks on me. This is so sweet.
Yeah.
And then a moment later, it's talking about, yo, I gotta go fix this. You gonna help me pick this up right now, right? And I'm like, okay, boy.
Okay, right. It's like, oh yeah, damn. Like, let me back it up. It's very interesting. So yeah, I don't know. So I just feel like our community and our generation, we're so fixated on what we think things should be. And we're just following social media. But really, I just feel like we're all at one level, but the puppet strings are somewhere else.
Yeah.
While everyone's chilling, having mimosas.
And I feel like a lot of these conversations are so fictionalized because no one's really speaking about this in real life or thinking about it. They just be on their phones talking about this and engaging in it.
And then like we keep talking and explaining what we think things are, but where's the counseling? Where's the change? Where's the deep diving into the psychology of figuring out, you know, why quote unquote women stop submitting to men? You know, we got the Reaganomics. I'm sure there's plenty of historical American factors that jumped in there.
Well, especially speaking in the context of the Black community, Black women have always had to work and do things. Because, you know, the whole feminist movement, it was a white feminist movement at the time. Mm-hmm. If you want to read about some Black feminism, you can read one of my pieces. I'll plug that. But, you know, Black women have always had to be strong.
Yeah.
And because of that, people want to say that y'all are masculine and you're not feminine. But you can be, like I like to call, soft and pink.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and enjoy certain things and be taken care of.
Yeah.
But historically, Black women have had to hold things down.
That's true.
Because our country and other countries have destroyed the Black family unit often.
Yeah.
And when we look at even before Reaganomics, Lyndon B. Johnson, when he was instilling certain welfare programs, one of the big things was there can't be a man in the household anymore. And why is that?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes a brother needs help.
Yeah.
And he has his wife and kids.
Mm-hmm.
And that was another chip away at the Black family. And women have
they wanted to get the men out of there.
Hold things down. And that's why we have WIC, women, infants, and children. Because it's picking away, once again, at the family structure. And placing women in this thing of, I have to be strong.
Yeah.
But there's so many women that I know, it's like, sometimes I want to be taken care of. Sometimes I just want a moment to be doted on.
Yeah. Quick question, just to circle back on that law. Is that still in effect if people receiving certain services, they can't have a male present in the home? Is that over?
No, that's been pretty much instated. And there was even stipulations on that if you look at the Clinton administration in the late 90s, where women, in order to receive these benefits, have to work, because I don't want people thinking that if you receive welfare or food stamps that you're just sitting at home. You have to work for those things. So then women also have to be back again doing everything. And it's just this cycle of women have to do everything. So this concept of a welfare queen, like Reagan used to say, it's not a thing. Women have to do everything.
We do.
And it's like, damn, y'all must be tired.
And you know what's crazy? Just to close out on a woman's worth, just to touch on it, you have like women, we go through puberty, right?
Yeah.
And then now we have our babies, we give birth, we're taking care of it. And then after our kids are grown off in college, boom, with the menopause, and we go through another physical thing. It's like women are working in working day life, and also our bodies and our minds are going through changes at the same time.
I don't know how y'all go to work and do things during that time of the month. Y'all got
crazy.
Cramps and more things for our women with PCOS. You're struggling even more.
Yeah, and the older we get, it gets more intense for some people too. At this point, I'm like, we need to call out. Have you ever seen videos with the period simulators where they put the thing? That shit's real.
I can't imagine that.
Women are very strong. That masculine, feminine energy.
Let me get a little stomach ache though. I'm like, take me to the king. I'm gone.
Okay.
I need to lay down.
That endurance and that strength that women possess, just on a mental and a physical thing, it can match.
Yeah, and that's why I was pushing you to think that feminine energy, it can be strong. Yeah. Because women are strong.
Very much so.
The things that y'all go through every month, every day, that's feminine energy and it's strength.
Yeah.
So yes, being soft and pink is real important too, but that strength can define womanhood as well.
And on that note, everyone, that was High Vibrational Tea.
High Vibrational, yes.
Please be in touch and tune back in to Passenger Seat Parlay featuring my guest host, Lil Rob.
Yes, can't wait to see y'all again.
Bye.
Bye.